Are we ready?
All right, hold on. I got scratch.
Oh yeah, adjust. Tree frog.
I never heard it called tree frog before.
Do you got the notes up?
Huh?
You got the notes up?
Oh, that you said, do I have my nuts up? I was like, kind of.
Well, I clearly.
Hold on, I got it. One more big adjust.
Bro, that's the problem with having nuts is we gotta adjust every now and then. And it's just like
I can't just sit on them.
I'll say this right now. While I was hiking up Fushimi Inari, I had to adjust my nutsack so many times because it kept sticking to my legs. And the underwear I was wearing had been like stretched because I've been walking and sitting all day.
Yeah.
So I was tree frogging constantly all day.
What?
And you got to kind of like do that, like you're trying to be low key. The step, yeah, you got to do that kind of big wide step, and people know what you're doing. They're just polite enough to say, "Oh, he's adjusting."
Exactly. At one point, I just ran out of fucks to give, and I just started adjusting. And I would be like, "Fuck it."
Oh, I do that too. Sometimes I'll just like, if I'm like, okay, how can I turn my back to these people so that the least amount of people are watching me, kind of, fumble with my tent.
Fondle your own testicles?
Hey, I'm trying to get the tent set up down there, okay?
Yeah. It's like, God damn it,
Okay.
these Duluth Trading Company underwear failed me.
I mean, I guess I kind of understand because I never shave my poussoir. So
The octopus.
sometimes I'll get a...
Jesus.
Yeah, it is pretty Lovecraftian down there. But anyway, sometimes I'll get a hair like stuck like in between my labes, just kind of tickling my clit. So I have to try to kind of adjust a little bit, walk kind of funny, and if that doesn't work, I'll have to like pretend that I'm scratching and then kind of dig it out. Like while we're out walking the dog.
Is that what you're doing?
Oh, so you've noticed. I mean, I can't just orgasm in the middle of Custer Street, you
Have
know?
you done that? Is that what we were doing when we were at Costco in line that one time? Is that why you were kind of shimmying a bit? Is that what was going on?
Falls to her knees in the Costco.
No,
Puts out the
honestly,
tiniest yeehaw.
one cube is not enough for that. I'm joking, obviously, but it is definitely noticeable. I will say that, and thus the adjust.
Necessary, no matter the gender.
It's very true.
Indeed.
Very true. The
I
damn
think we
Costco.
have our opener now.
Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx.
Natsu man. I want to be a Natsu man. Hey Matt, what's your name?
Matt.
And I'm Sabrina, and this is
Sumo Punx.
All right, we have Ben Marquez here to talk about the Natsu Basho Week 2. Ben is one of our favorite members of Dark Circle's Sumo Club down in Austin, Texas. Ben, how you doing?
I'm feeling fantastic, you know what I'm saying? Jet
Hell yeah,
lag
I
has
know
never
what you're
felt better.
Oh.
Awesome. So you recently just came back from Japan, right? You were in the Kokugikan, although if I remember correctly, it was just for the first day.
Yep. So it was just for the opening day of the tournament, or opening first day, whatever.
Hey.
It was incredible. I got to the arena at about 8:15 in the morning, and 8:30 a.m. promptly doors open. And let me tell you, I have never seen anything like that before. Not here in America. Like, it could never happen.
What happened?
Doors opened at the exact time it said it was supposed to. So
Okay.
impressed.
See, I didn't catch how unique that was because I arrived late to everything. So I guess that's pretty impressive.
Super impressive. But yeah, doors open instantly. I walked in there. First thing I did was I said, you know what? I've got a full day of sumo head. I need to use the restroom.
Oh yeah.
This is my official Kokugikan bathroom review.
You gotta leave your mark on the Kokugikan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Out of all the places that I used, out of all the restrooms I used, absolutely the best one.
Nice.
Heated seats, heated bidet,
Ooh.
and then an ash dryer afterwards for you.
Nice.
Ash
Dude,
dryer.
I want to go poop at the Kokugikan.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You see, like, I was always expecting, like, you know, some of those nightmare scenarios where they talk about the squat toilets. Did you encounter the squat toilets?
One place in Yokohama. That was it.
Did you use the squat toilet? Or
No,
did you go try and find a Western toilet?
I went and looked for a Western toilet. I was like, you know what? I can hold it for just enough like a little bit longer. That was the thought process.
I feel like I could handle the squat toilet.
I was about to say too. I mean, it's like if you could get down in Sankyo.
I've spent enough time out in the woods camping on like a shit ton of mushrooms. If I could survive that harrowing experience. I still remember the first time I pooped in the woods on mushrooms, actually. The poop was very sparkly. But anyway.
No, the squat toilet, you know, what was it? I think it was we were watching the behind the scenes on Sanctuary. They had like this little special on Netflix, or no, it was on YouTube.
Yeah.
But they were saying that the squat toilets, a lot of the stables only have squat toilets because it's still considered training whenever you're using a squat toilet because of the position you have to be in. So that's still training.
Never stop training.
Never stop, even when you're pooping.
Yep.
Yeah, that could not be me. No squat toilet for me, because again, all the toilet paper was like half a ply.
What?
It was like half ply TP everywhere I went. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna end up like wiping and slipping a finger. So like, no risks.
Did they actually have, like, did some places have bidets and then just some complimentary toilet paper, or were some places just toilet paper and other places had bidets?
So pretty much everywhere was bidet with a complimentary toilet paper. Only one 7-Eleven in, I think it was Akihabara, had toilet paper, and that was it.
See,
and I was like,
you know you're listening to the Sumo Punx podcast when we talk to somebody who just came back from Japan, and all we want to know about is their pooping experience.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of the whole experience of whenever you travel is like, what's the bathroom like? You've seen those weird Dutch toilets, so like where you automatically get a wizard tower like every time. Well, it's because they put the flush hole down at the bottom instead of in the back.
That's true.
So whenever you poop, it goes down towards that drain, and you just immediately
fucking poop pedestal.
Yeah,
that's exactly what those are for. They're just for you to look at your poo poo.
Yeah, and you get a wizard tower each time.
I mean, if you aim it right, I guess it's not going to stand up in the tower position every time.
I get a lot of fiber in my diet, and let me tell you,
you get a wizard hut.
Man, shit, it is the tower. Okay, man, it is the twin towers all the time. There's the Tower of Sauron, and then there's like the what's his name? You know, Homeboy's Tower, Sauron.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's Sauron's tower.
The twin towers I was thinking of. I was about to be like, Mr. President, toilet paper has hit the towers.
Oh, the two towers, not the twin towers, but the two towers. I'm talking about Lord of the Rings, not 9/11. God damn it, I got it mixed up.
You just pee on it afterwards, and it's like the
well, I meant the two towers. Sauron and Saruman. Damn it.
In
the bathroom of Mordor. Not 9/11. God damn it.
Okay. Okay. Ben, besides the toilets, what other awesome exemplary experiences did you have in Japan? Did you get to meet any of the Rikishi?
Not like directly in person. I got a lot of photos of them. I found a guy that looked exactly like me, literally my twin.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think I saw that photo on your, was it your Instagram, I think?
Instagram, Facebook. I probably put it everywhere.
Yeah.
I had to farm that engagement a little bit, but yeah, he looked exactly like me. I sent a photo to like my family group chat, and they were like, "Oh my god, that's you."
Crazy.
It could be you. Yeah.
I've always maintained that my doppelganger was Nishikigi, because whenever I was heavier and he was a bit heavier, like right in the face, I felt like I was looking in a mirror. But Sabrina's like, I don't see it. I don't. My mom says she could see it. Okay, but it looks like my mom said it looks like she could be or that Nishikigi looks like he's related to us, but like not like directly.
Yeah, maybe that. But you did get to meet Hiro Morita.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I tell everyone I kind of like forced myself to get that experience to happen. I walked around probably about 6 times during the lower divisions. I was like, I am going to stop once Juryo starts, but I'm going to walk around everywhere just to make sure I find him. And so where the ticket gate is, there's a little set of stairs that leads up to a little garden that like overlooks the roof of the Kokugikan.
Aww.
And so I'm sitting there, I'm walking, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go up these stairs and check. Sure as shit, that's where he's standing. He's like doing the outro to the video, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pull my phone out of my pocket and walk past him like I don't know who he is until I walk past him down the stairs. So I walk past him down the stairs, and he finishes shooting right then and there, and they're about to start walking away. And I turn around and I go, sumimasen, Hiro-san. And he turns around and he goes, huh? And I'm like, I'm a huge fan of the show. Like, I watch all the time. And then immediately he like lights up and like he goes, do you want a sticker? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want a sticker. So it's now on my luggage from my trip. But yeah, so I talked to him. I'm like, hey, like, I'm amateur sumo wrestler. And I'm like, everyone in my area, our community loves watching the show.
Yeah.
And again, he's like, oh, that's awesome to hear. And he's like, so you're amateur. Do you do the US Sumo Open? And I was like, no, I haven't done that one yet. I know a few people there, but I was like, I did just come from a tournament with Gagamaru ozeki. And
nice.
It was really dope.
The Roller Town Showdown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was a really, really chill dude. And then I'm like, hey, can I get a picture? He says, yeah. And he goes, how about this? Do you want to do the sumo primetime for the camera?
Yeah.
And immediately I'm like, fuck yes.
Oh yeah, and then we saw. And then he, whenever he did his live stream, he like called you like out by name. It was
by
name.
Yeah, he was all like, and then I got to meet this guy named Ben, and he was very cool, and he told me he was an amateur sumo wrestler, and then he was so stoked about it, and he gave all of Texas a shout out.
Yeah. I love your Hiro Morita impression.
That's how he talks.
That's pretty good.
I know. I was on a train to Kyoto during that live stream, so I had no idea it was happening until I got to Kyoto.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, man. Dude, so, like, whenever you got to do the first day, you're in the Kokugikan, and then you're hearing the wood blocks, you're seeing the rikishi, start to do the dohyo iri. I mean, like, what was that like? What was that feeling like?
Did you get all tingly?
It was electric. I genuinely, I had the biggest smile on my face. It was just, the energy in there was unmatched. I have never felt so like excited for something during like a sporting event that I did with watching pro sumo and like watching all the rituals and everything like that. It felt like I was in church for 8 hours. That's awesome. But it was incredible. And then when Terunofuji walked out, to do his, it was, oh my god, place went silent. Everyone just immediately shut up, and then it was like silent, and then watching him just perform the ritual, it was amazing. Like I had goosebumps the entire time, and I was just like so caught up in the moment. It's a miracle I got a video of it like at all, but
that's so cool.
Oh god, it was just incredible. And like hearing the wood blocks, and then like singing, I was just like, this is incredible. I cannot believe like I'm here right now. And what I've gathered is that next year when I go, I'm buying box seats. I'm not doing the seats upstairs.
Nice.
I'm buying box seats.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've heard like a lot of the people that whenever they go to the Kokugikan, that the wildest and most raucous fans are always kind of like up towards the top, and they're I thought they're allowed to bring food and like booze.
The
up
strong
there.
zero.
The
is
strong zeros
flowing freely.
Oh, yeah.
So what was that your social lubricant of choice while you were there?
It was indeed. I was sitting next to a group of businessmen, and they all jackets off, shirts unbuttoned, ties undone. And at one point, I was like, you know what? I feel really bad. These guys have to sit next to me because I'm taking up pretty much all their seats.
Aw.
I was like, you know what? Let me buy these guys a round of beers.
Aw.
So I get up, get down, and I look at them. I'm like, biru? Biru, question mark?
Yeah.
I said, hey. I said, go. So I brought back like 5 beers and sat there and drank with some old businessmen, and I was like, dudes rock.
So you made some friends while you were there.
Oh yeah, I made a lot of friends. I was a hit with every demographic,
I heard
Men,
you were a big
women.
hit with a school bus full of children as well.
I was. So I had gone to the store Lion, though, which is where the sumo wrestlers that are usually lower rank go to buy their clothing. And I just purchased a yukata, and I wore it out because I was like feeling myself. So I had the belt and the yukata on. And I'm sitting there eating something outside of a Family Mart, and I look up, and there's a school bus full of children, and one of these kids is just sitting there waving at me. And so I'm like, is this kid waving at me? Like, what the fuck? And then I look back up, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to wave back, and I wave back. And the entire bus goes absolutely fucking apeshit.
Nice.
Like, the kid that I initially waved to, he's like pressed up against the window, like, yeah!
I fucking love
Oh my
that.
god, you must have made those kids his whole fucking life.
I feel like I must have, right? Those kids were loving it. And, like, the teachers were even excited watching it happen. So, like,
Oh.
I, like, stolen Ballard as a sumo wrestler.
I was about to say, did people like go around me like Osumo-san? Osumo-san? Like
Rikishi desai.
I mean, it's technically, you do sumo, so yeah.
I do.
Yeah, whenever we were watching that Sanctuary thing, it showed Wataru Ichinose was saying that he was approached by a lot of like elderly folks that were asking, Osumo-san? Osumo-san? And his response was, I am a student who practices sumo, and he just left it at that. But I mean, hey, there's no lie.
No lie, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So what would you say was like your favorite part of your trip to Japan?
One of my favorites was going to the Gundam factory. It was like going to like the place for me as like, because as a kid, Mobile Suit Gundam and Gundam Wing were some of the first animes that I watched. I watched them with my dad, so I like, I was like, fuck yeah, this stuff rocks. I didn't even know the deep, like, complex political issues. I just thought giant robots.
Yeah.
Giant robots are cool.
So I walk in there and I'm like trying to contain my excitement, but like the second I walk in and see it, I get like choked up and I have like tears in my eyes.
Oh.
And I'm like, holy shit. And so I'm like, okay, I need to stop myself from crying right now. And I like immediately beeline it to the vendor for like food and shit. And I get a $15 royal milk tea boba in like a collector's cup. And I sit there and I'm like drinking it, like looking at it.
Oh.
And it starts to move. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to cry.
Oh.
And like, it was in a kneeled position and it stands up and it like does the finger point to the sky. And it's like playing audio clips from Gundam with like the Gundam soundtrack in the background, and it's like shooting on steam. And I'm just like, holy fucking shit, this is so cool.
And this thing was, how tall was this thing?
I think it says it's 60 meters. It's really tall. It's fucking
dude.
tall.
It looked like the fucking Statue of Liberty could have like beat it up. Well, maybe it could have beat up the Statue of Liberty. It looked fucking tall, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It was very tall. Very tall, and it was like crazy the amount of work that went into making it to where it can move. Even it was just, it was like a love letter to Gundam, obviously. And it was
Hell yeah.
so cool.
Absolutely.
Oh man, I whenever I was younger, I think I was like 18, 19. I remember when G Gundam was coming on, and that I really liked that one because it didn't have like too intricate of like a storyline, and it was dumb enough for me, you know, to where like I immediately latched onto it, and like that was like my introduction. And so once I kind of got into like the whole just excitement of the fight, that's whenever I could start getting more into the more politically aligned, you know, Gundam stories. And I like as a grown up, I really fucking enjoyed them. But like, you know, as like this 18-year-old kid, you know, like G Gundam was just fucking bad. I just saw that shining fingers. No, it was so fucking cool, dude. No, I feel you there. Like Gundam always has like a fucking tender place in my heart.
It does. And the moment was made sweeter because initially, before I booked, I had found out that it was closing the 31st of March, 2023.
Fuck.
And I was like, well, that part's dead in the water, so I'm not going to go to Yokohama. I was like, that's just an extra day in like Osaka or something. And then I saw, complete luck, I opened up Google Chrome on my phone, and I was like, good news, Gundam fans, it's been extended for another year. And immediately I was like, let's fucking go! And just
Hell yeah.
office.
Awesome.
Oh, dude.
I'm definitely glad you got to experience that.
And the robot restaurant is not the robot restaurant anymore, I found out. It is now a cabaret club, for like a hostess club.
Oh,
And
damn.
I walked in, I was like, robot restaurant. And they're like, no robot restaurant. And then they're like, Nihongo? I said, Eigo wa only. And then walked right back out, and I said, okay, that is not robot restaurant anymore. But yeah, so while I was in Kabukicho, that area is very famous for like street touts, that like Nigerian street touts. They're like, hey man, the titty bars are great. You like titties? They're like, come to our bar halftime, or like happy hour. And so one guy, I'm walking alone, my head's down, so I'm not even making eye contact with these guys. But he shoves like this paper, and it's like these photoshopped half-naked women. And he's like, hey man, do you like titty bars? Titty bars are great. He's like, depends all about titties and pussy. And I look at him and I go, I'm gay, where can I get some dick? And the dude immediately just fucking runs off. And I was like,
He just ran away.
He left me alone the second I said that. I dealt with like 2 or 3 of them. Another one was like, hey man, like he approached me outside of a 7-Eleven. He's like, hey man, like happy hour just started at our bar. Like you should come hang out with us. Like drinks are cheap. The girls are pretty. And I go, hold on, man. I got to go take a shit. Like circle back. I'll circle back in like 15 minutes if that's cool. I just never came back. But like, you got to do things like that to stop them from like dragging you away. Cause he had his hand on my arm and I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, leave me alone.
Right? No, that's when you said that you were in Kabukicho. That's why I like commented on that post, like, "Hey, dude, be careful," because I've heard some things about Kabukicho.
Mm-hmm.
But I also heard that you ended up at a muscle bar.
Oh,
is that right?
Yes.
Muscle bar.
We got to hear about the adventures of the muscle bar.
Yes. This is my future career path for sure, because I heard about this and was immediately like, yep, that's what I want to do with my life.
So, okay, the Muscle Girl Bar is absolutely an experience. High octane from the second you walk in. They're all there like, yeah, cheering you on and flexing, and I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. So I had a reservation for 10 to 11:30, which is when they close, and the bar is Nomi Hodai, so that's all you can drink.
Whoa.
Oh.
And all their drinks are what they call sumo-sized.
Yes.
They are in these big steins that are just like, A cocktail should not be going into those.
Jeez.
Hey man, I have been to drag bars before that had $5 strawberry Long Island iced tea pitchers, and I would buy 2 or 3 of those just for myself every
And just
night.
chug pitchers. I used to do that too, because
I put a straw in it and everything. Right,
you know those big beer steins that I have that I used to like have. Yeah, so like those beer steins were like my default like chugging utensils, and that's just what I would make I would make my cocktails in those. I would chug beers out of those. It was just that's the way you do it.
Yeah.
So Japan knows what they're doing.
Yeah, they know how. So anyway, you get a lot of fucking booze at the, I should have specified earlier, the Muscle Girl Bar.
Oh, Muscle
Girl Bar. Yes. All of the bartenders are extremely strong ladies who are very nice. I had 2 great bartenders, Fuka and Maru. Maru, I think, is pretty popular on the streams, so she's seen a lot. But Maru is a lot of fun. And they talked to me the best they could with obviously my very broken Japanese and then their English. So it was really great to like have like a good conversation with them. So I get there, I have my first beer, and my first drink, and so that liquid courage is starting to hit. So I'm like, all right, it's time to do some bench press.
Ooh.
And so they have a bench press machine that's 100 pounds, and it's like if you do 50 reps, you get Muscle Girl dollars for every rep after 50 you get.
Ooh.
And so I was sitting there and I was just pounding them away. I think I was about 45, and I felt my arms start to get tired. And I'm like, you know what? I was like, I got some things I got to do tomorrow that require the use of my arms. I was like, do I force it or not? So I got to 52 and called it. I'm going to save my arms because what I'm doing tomorrow is very important, and I need my arms for that.
So I go back. 2 Muscle Girl dollars?
I got 2 Muscle Girl bucks for free.
What do you get for that?
So it's like their tipping system, and they come in like stacks of 10 normally. And so it's like 1,000 yen, and you get 10 Muscle Girl dollars, and then you get the secret menu of what you can do. Ooh. And there's getting slapped by one of the girls for 10 Muscle Girl dollars, and then for 30, all of the girls in the bar slap you. And then it's like getting kicked, getting lifted, just all kinds of different things. And so, of course, I go, for the culture, I have to get slapped. And
obviously.
I go, Maru, you're the one that's going to slap me, because, like, duh.
Yeah.
And the guy next to me is apparently like a regular at this place. He elbows me on the shoulder and he goes, you picked the right one. Maru hits the hardest. I'm like, fuck. And so I get up on stage again. They got me on the on the bench press machine, you know, and she puts her hand on my chin. She lines her hand up, and then she goes, okay, don't move your head. And immediately I go, okay, and move my head. And so she like does her thing. She goes, and then she flexes at the other people at the bar, and then she flexes at the camera recording for me. And then she comes back, and then she lines up and just whap, slaps me in the face. And, you know, I was sitting there, I was like, oh, it's not going to be a hard slap. She's going to hold back a little. No,
she's going to shake your brain up.
She rocked my shit. I was like, oh. My face was like tinder afterwards. You can still see the handprint on it.
Looks like a big tagata.
It did. The only thing I could say after getting slapped as hard as it, I just went sugoi, and then the entire bar just went fucking ape shit.
Nice.
So I go back to my seat. I have my drinks to numb the pain, and then the salaryman, who very clearly just got off of work, still got his jacket and tie on. He pays for all the girls in the bar to kick him in the ass.
Oh, damn.
And this man is bent over on the machine, biggest smile I've ever seen on anyone's face, and he's getting kicked in the ass by the girls, and he is loving every moment of it. And I was just like, that's the happiness I like, good for him.
This is precisely why it's the career field that I have chosen, is because I want to bring that kind of happiness to people through my feminine violence.
I respect that, honestly.
Hell yeah.
Much respect. Much respect.
So you said you kind of needed to hold back because you needed to use your arms later. What was it that you needed your arms for?
Well, let's just say I made some friends while I was over there, and I was meeting them the next day. And I needed my hands because there was lots of hand action going on, you know, arm and hand, uncensored handhelding, you know.
That kind of hand action.
Justin knows the full story. I gave him the rundown, the play-by-play afterwards. But yeah, shout out to my unspoken Riz for that one. But yeah, so that was interesting. I was only in town for like 24 hours before that happened. Yeah, so that was really nice. But also, are y'all familiar with that meme where it's like that one unemployed friend at 2 PM on a Wednesday, where it's just like a picture of a dude just like in a random fucking location?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know people like that in real life.
I know the meme.
So I am the physical embodiment of that meme, and I'm also the physical embodiment of walking into places I should not walk into.
Oh no.
So a couple days later, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have a nice day, and I'm going to go to the park, and I'm going to eat my lunch at this nice little park. Well, the park I chose was a park called Yoshiwara Park. Now, if you don't know what Yoshiwara is, it is the red light district of Tokyo.
Oh, shit.
If you've watched Demon Slayer Season 2 takes place in Yoshiwara.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's a good arc.
So I get dropped off by the taxi there, and I'm like, one, it starts raining the second I get dropped off, and then two, I'm like, where the fuck is this park? I just see concrete. It's just concrete. And my taxi driver is already gone. He's just he dipped. He was gone before I even realized what was happening. And so I keep walking on the street because I'm like, okay, I need to find somewhere to get dry.
Yeah.
And first guy, he's like, hey, come here, come here, Soapland. For those that don't know what a Soapland is that are listening, it's a establishment where you pay to go get a bath with a companion, and you magically fall in love while you're up there.
Oh.
At one point, the rain was just coming down too hard, and I was like, I need to get inside, and there's not a 7-Eleven or a Family Mart near me. So I walk into one, and I go, and they go, can you speak Japanese? And I go, no. And then they go, okay, come here. And so they usher me into a room, and they're like, choose girl. And I'm like, oh! No. So immediately I'm like, yeah, daijoubu. I walked out of there. I said, I will not be returning to that establishment. But yeah.
Maybe we should change the subject to something a little more
PG-13.
All right. Well, we are here to talk about the Natsu Basho.
Oh, is that what we're here for now?
I'm sorry. I thought it was supposed to be a whole history of Soaplands, but yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah,
the history of soap. That's our other podcast.
All right,
man. Your adventures, man. I'm so jealous,
dude. It's when y'all get the chance, I jump on it. It's
fuck
so
yes.
Hell yeah.
It's just amazing, just amazing times. Japan is amazing.
One of these days it'll happen. We're trying to move right now, and it's been so fucking stressful, but things are finally moving along. So
once we're in our new spot, everything's gonna be so much easier.
Yeah, and hopefully we can start saving up money again and eventually travel, because we were wanting to go to Scotland, and that's not gonna happen. So we were like, fuck it, let's just stay in the U.S. and like go to South Carolina. And now after this whole like moving thing. I don't even know if we're going to have any money by July to go to that. So,
I don't know. I'm going to finagle what I can. I'm going to see what I can.
Let's just buy some more mushrooms and have a trip right here.
Rob a bank, guys. Let's rob a bank.
I know, right? Shit.
Maybe we should start our own Soapland or something.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so the topic at hand, the reason why we're here today
the reason for the season
is to talk about week 2 of the Natsu Basho, day 9 through 15.
I do have one hot take, but it was about day 1, and it was regarding a mono-e on day
Ooh,
1.
Let's hear it.
Just this one, and
Okay.
I spoke it.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it the Asanoyama and Kotoeko? Yeah.
It is. That was such a bad call that the mono-e was so bad. It was bullshit.
Total.
And
everyone-
it happened again this week to someone else, but we'll get to that.
Booty cheeks. Everyone in the stands was like they groaned. It was like
what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Such a bad call, and I will stand by that one because it was a bullshit decision.
Even Hiro Morita was like Kotoeko got robbed.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. And like, I know that I have seen matches before where the exact same scenario has played out and it did not end like that. Honestly, for as long as we've been following sumo, this is the first time we even heard of this fucking rule where, oh, if you're in the air but like both your feet are outside of the ring, then even if you're not touching, if the other person touches first, then like you still lose. How does that make any sense?
It's the dead body rule. It's just a different way of enforcing the dead body rule. So like that's a different interpretation of who's in an irrecoverable position. Remember, because it changed from Issei Gahama running the Shinpan and being like, the head judge and doing the Banzuke and all that. And now it's like a different set of dudes now that it's Sarogatake.
So what if both of them are in an irrecoverable position, though?
Sarogatake.
Obviously, Asanoyama's falling down, Kotoeko is jumping in the air. Like, which one is more unrecoverable?
Exactly.
And regardless, his hand touched first. I just want to say the hand touched first.
Right, there's gotta dead body rule just means we made it up.
Yeah.
I think it gives them an arbitrary license to. I think it's a political tool, maybe.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
So Matt, you had mentioned that some interesting things had happened with Shishi. Who is currently all the way down in Makushita.
So Shishi, there had been rumblings that he could possibly be in Juryo by next tournament.
Oh.
And so what was it, on day 15, Shishi had fought Toki Hayate from Juryo, and they actually did Shishi's hair up in a nice little oicho.
Aww.
So, he had like the whole, he looked good in it. I had to put it on our Instagram stories, but he did look really good with the Noicho. But he beat the hell off Toki Hayate. He like beat the brakes off that dude. He had like a bloody nose and was just like, so there was, there was some pushing, there was some thrusting, but then he got him with this Uwatanage and then like positioned his body to just smash him down. Cause they were doing that thing, when you try to Uwatanage and like, you're both kind of getting some hang time at the Tawara. Yeah. He was like, nope, fuck this. And just put his body weight on Toki Hayate and just smashed him down. So
fuck, dude.
I think Shishi's ready for Juryo. I think he's going to be a good contender. And now that they had the exodus of all of the Georgians, there's no more Georgians left.
My heart.
I know. So he's going to be one of the only East Europe, representatives in Pro Sumo.
Fuck yeah, dude. I can't wait. Speaking of Juryo, I know one of your sons, Ochi, has been kicking ass as well.
Both of my sons have been kicking ass. So I will start with my first son, Atami Fuji. So Atami Fuji had been ranked at, actually, Atami Fuji and Ochi were both Juryo 8.
Yes.
East and West, respectively. So Atami Fuji had finished off with a 13-2 record.
Ooh.
Oh, that's actually really good for him.
So he was like in third place. So the U show was between Gonoyama and Ochi. And so during, just the regular just the regular tournament days, Gonoyama, that was Ochiai's only loss throughout the whole.
Gonoyama.
Yeah. And Gonoyama's just, I don't know, where was this Gonoyama in previous tournaments? Like, when did he decide to become fucking Godzilla over here? But he just fucking throttled Ochiai, like, out, just like blink of an eye, just pushed and thrusted out, and Ochiai was out. He was like, oh, well, fuck. So Gonoyama got the Juryo Yusho, Ochiai got the Jun Yusho, and then there was Atami Fuji, third place, I guess, so as both of my sons did well, Gonoyama, I'm going to kick your ass for beating up my sons.
Now, what rank was Gonoyama at, though?
Juryo 1 East, I think.
Oh, so he is very, very positively...
I think, yeah, since...
The English language is hard. He is actually probably going to be in Makuuchi. By next Basho. Okay.
I think Gonoyama is going for sure. I really hope that Atami Fuji gets a chance to go back, but if he doesn't, he's definitely going to be High Juryo. And
I think both him and Ochiai are going to end up in High Juryo.
I think Shishi is actually going to be in Juryo. And I got my fingers crossed for him because I really, really think he's going to do well. I think he's ready.
Are we looking at a third son here? Are you adopting another one?
If I adopt another son, it might be Onosato, who's Makushita really? 10 right now. That's Daiki Nakamura from the World Games. And from what I heard, he's a mensch.
Yeah.
No, he's just a cool guy.
He's a great guy. I got to meet him at the World Games when I visited.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, me and him he was my profile picture on Facebook for the longest time. Very, very chill guy.
Fuck yeah.
He looked phenomenal, too, throughout the boss. He looked phenomenal, obviously, except for day one. But, again, that was absolutely, literally first tournament jitters.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like he found his groove after that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. He's got a good career ahead of him, I think. I've seen a lot of rumblings and rumors that he may be getting thrust up to Juryo already, but I'm like, there's no way.
I don't know.
I don't think he's ready.
I think if he got like a fucking 7-0, then they would have fast tracked him up there. That's what they did with Ochiai.
Yeah.
I do think that Onosato has one more foray in Makushita. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. I think it would be beneficial for him to have one more.
I do too.
Because you need that development time. No matter what sport you're in, you need that development time. And obviously one of the most decorated college athletes, but it's a big shift going up to the pros no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
So I think him staying down, not in Juryo, is the good call, and I think obviously that's what it's going to be. But maybe I think he'll probably go 7-0 next time. I think so.
I think so too. I got my fingers crossed for him, especially since a couple of the more hardcore dudes are going to be, I'd like Shishi, he's been in Makushita for a while and he's just been, just kicking some ass. He really has. But I think since in Makuuchi we had I guess he was in Juryo. I still keep thinking he's in Makuuchi, but whenever Tochinoshin retired and whenever Ichinojo retired, that opened up a couple of spots. So there's going to be some Juryo movement, which opens up some, spots for Makushita dudes to get promoted. So I am curious to see who gets promoted.
Ben, Tochinoshin was still there when you got to the Kokugikan on the first day, wasn't he?
He was. Day one. That match, it was hard to watch. You could tell in his body language he was done. Like,
yeah.
I thought he was going to complete the tournament. I thought he was going to call all the days and then say I'm retiring. But I was in my taxi on my way home from the JoJo bar, and I looked at my phone and I saw Tochinoshin retires, and I'm like, in the taxi holding back tears. I was like, fuck, man.
See, when you were there, he had actually talked to his Oyakata right before the tournament started, saying, hey, I don't think my body can take it anymore. I think it's time to finally retire. But his Oyakata was like, well, at least do the first 5 days and let's see what happens. And then after 5 days with no wins, it's like, nah, dude, this isn't going any further.
He was more in a state of defense and self-preservation than anything else. it was not the Tochinoshin you'd know from the past. It was very much a like mentally checked out. I need to survive these days before I go, and that's it. Feels so like shitty to say that, but at the same time, it's like it's very obvious that's what was happening, and that's like he wants to get out of injury free, and obviously that's the best case scenario. And as a fan, that's what you want to see is him getting out of it injury free, and it broke my heart a little bit knowing that my first time seeing him was also my last.
Yeah.
And I joked with Siggy and Corey and all of them. I was like, hey, he just needs to last until I can see him. But I didn't think that joke would be fucking real like that.
Damn.
But yeah, so I've got video of his first match of the day or the tournament. And it's very bittersweet now knowing that literally like 4 days later he called it.
Yeah.
Him and then also Inho.
Yeah.
Gosh, poor guy. Inho needs to take some time.
He's got to heal.
He's got to heal. The herniated disc is nothing to fuck with.
So didn't Inho end up pulling out of the tournament as well?
Yeah, day 10.
Yeah, day 10.
Day 10. Okay. Herniated disc, dude, that's scary.
Yeah.
That is super scary. But as far as Toch goes, I mean, we already got one Georgian to Texas.
Yeah.
I'm keeping all of my fingers and toes and eyes and legs crossed so we can get another one here.
I know. If Gaga and Uncle Toch come down, it's going to be a huge party in Texas.
I wouldn't know how to act. I would be doing everything to impress Tochinoshin. I shit you not. I'd be like,
oh, you want a sandwich? You want to try fry bread?
I will have your children. Well, speaking of people who unfortunately had to pull out in this basho, Koto Shoho did withdraw also on day 10 due to a knee injury.
I think he ended up coming back.
He did actually come back on day 14.
Yeah.
But speaking of people coming back, Takayasu came back on day 11. We didn't think we were even going to see him this basho, but then all of a sudden he shows up.
Yeah.
He pulled out before the tournament even started, and then, he did all right for his 4 days of... that's 5 days. Yeah, his 5 days of competing.
He just broke even.
Yeah, but, he needed time to heal as well. So hopefully he'll be more healed up by July, and we'll get to see a lot more of him than we did for this tournament.
We have not seen the last of the Papa Bear.
Yeah, as an athlete, that's the one thing that I hate, like having to watch about pro sumo is them like going out there so beat to shit.
Oh, I know.
Risking further injury. That's just, again, that's from an athlete standpoint, and as someone who has done that, it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, as the fact that they have to risk rank or injury, it sucks.
Yeah, that does suck, and I really wish that particular aspect would change whenever it comes to to injury and how they consider how it affects rank. Whenever you have an injury, because we've seen what good rest really does for these guys, especially the guys that got suspended, or the guys that remember during COVID, whenever they had that rule where if one guy in the stable had COVID, they would suspend the whole stable.
Yeah.
So there were some guys that got some good, and Takayasu, he was one of the guys that got some good rest from that. And when he came back, he was strong as hell, kicking some ass.
So essentially, this is what's been going on in the tournament so far. Entering week 2, we had 3 front runners. We had 3 dudes who were vying for the top spot. Of course, our yokozuna, Terunofuji, whom a lot of people before this basho started were like, I don't know, is Terunofuji going to be up to it?
Lots of naysayers.
He's been kicking all sorts of butt.
Oh,
and then the former Ozeki and current Maegashira 14, Asanoyama, and Meisei, who was at Maegashira 6 for this basho. Meisei, honestly, is one of those guys who is a bit of a wild card, so He's had tournaments where he's been like just really on, and then he's had tournaments where it's just been like, Meisei, what the fuck are you doing?
He's like the hot water at our apartment complex. When he's on, he's on. But when he's off, it's like, dude, what the fuck? When are you going to turn back on?
I haven't showered in 3 days, Meisei.
The only thing he's consistent with is being inconsistent.
Exactly.
Right. And of course, Asanayama was expected to do quite well. He actually did in the tournament with double-digit wins, so he's going to be climbing up. I expect he'll probably be in the Joy for the next Basho.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get into some of the main dudes in the Natsu Basho story, I did want to mention some of the honorable mentions. I just said the word mention twice. I really got to learn to proofread. Anyway, so first we have Kinbozan versus Taka Keisho on day 10. This was Kinbozan's first time going up against an ozeki, and he fucking dominated. Although Taka Keisho had just saved himself from losing his ozeki rank the day prior by obtaining his kachikoshi, so he may just be giving up for the last few days of the tournament. Well, no, because he did get a couple more wins but after that.
You could visibly see that he relaxed once his rank was secure.
Yeah, definitely. So Taka Keisho gets his kachikoshi. I'm not trying to say that that's the reason why Kinbozan won. I don't want to take anything away from his win, but you do gotta kind of wonder, was it easier for Kinbozan because Taka Keisho was kind of taking it easy after that?
Oh, yeah.
Then we have Ura versus Nishiki Fuji on day 11.
Oh, God.
That fucking Matrix move.
I know, where he did the bullet time fucking goes.
This is exactly why people love Ura. So Nishiki Fuji gets him up against the Tawara, only to have Ura toss his ass out behind him with a Totori armbar throw, and then do his little Neo impression to show off his crazy balance.
I saw on Twitter someone made a little cartoon of him with Matrix sunglasses.
Oh man, I was gonna
very fitting.
Another honorable mention we have is Wakamoto Haru versus Hokuseiho on day 11. Wakamoto Haru did something I was kind of expecting someone to do eventually to Hokuseiho. He essentially uses his own body as a kind of fulcrum to tip the giant man over and behind him, basically using Hokuseiho's own weight against him for a spectacular win by Uchari, backward pivot throw. And that illustrates a true weakness for Hokuseiho. He can overpower his opponents from above because of his height, but get him over a certain point, and then gravity just kind of starts to take over.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Oh, and then remember Ura and Tobizaru on day 12?
Oh, yeah, I think I skipped that one. Okay, why don't you tell us about Ura and Tobizaru?
All right, so Ura versus Tobizaru on day 12 was another spectacular win for Ura. Each one of these squirrely guys tries to find an N on the other, eventually culminating in Tobizaru grabbing the back of Ura's neck, probably for some kind of pull-down move, but Ura twists his head to the left and his body to the right, which knocks Tobizaru down and sends him rolling. This move is apparently called Zubuneri, head pivot throw, and was last seen in Makuuchi 25 years ago. And it was actually used this exact same tournament in the lower divisions. I think it was in Makushita that I saw it.
That move was so impressive to watch. I was like,
oh, fuck yeah.
That was fucking cool.
And that is another reason why people love Ura, is because every once in a while he pulls out one of these crazy fucking Kimarite that nobody's seen in a quarter decade.
That he's like a semoye, a fine Kimarite.
in the ring, Yes.
No, because he does that little like sniff before his matches too. So that's a very apt description.
Yeah, Justin Kizzard, so is like he's smelling his own farts, but he's just like kind of trying to catch the scent of the Kimarite he wants to use.
He's getting the whiff of the winning technique.
It's like, is there enough body odor in the air for me to do the Zubuneri? I think there is.
The Shinto god of smell is
All right, then.
Oh, Mitoryu versus Takarafuji on day 12.
Ah, yes. Then we have Mitoryu versus Takarafuji on day 12. They wear themselves out in this bout during a 3.5 minute long standoff, basically.
Yeah.
They get kind of locked up. Only to both end up casually stepping out of the ring at the same time. Like, they were both just saying, fuck it, I'm tired. But there was an immediate mono-e, which resulted in a rematch, as the judges determined they both stepped out at the same time. They were basically like, nah, y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna get away with this. Do
like,
it
no,
again.
try it. No, do it right. Yeah,
Try
do it
harder. The second time around, Mitoryu tries to pull a Hinka, but Takarafuji is able to grab him and push him out. I don't know if I would call this an honorable mention, maybe a dishonorable mention.
But for something being like a what's the word I'm looking for?
It was a unique bout.
Yeah,
Let's just call
exactly.
it that. It was unique. It stood out in my memory.
Yeah.
Then on day 13, we had Kotonowaka versus Ura again. And again, we see the same logic that was used during the match between Asanoyama and Kotoeko on day 3. I swear to sweet sassy Satan that I have seen numerous fucking matches where this exact scenario took place, and the one who hit the ground first lost, because, as we all know, that's the most basic fucking rule of sumo. So, Ura was jumping in the air when Kotonowaka landed. The Gyoji called the match for Ura, but just like last time, the judges, apparently including Kotonowaka's dad, called a mono-e and determined that Ura actually lost because his feet were in the air outside the ring. I just don't fucking get it.
But we've seen
SMH.
Yeah, we've seen all kinds of slapdowns, especially like Abi. Abi pulls those off all the time when he's going backwards and somebody like, you know, their body goes horizontal in the air and they land, you know, kind of sometimes around the same time the other person will be backing out. You know, they'll step over the Tawara, but they'll still call it like, you know, the person that lands belly first on the clay is the person who lost.
Right.
Then the person executing the slapdown was the winner. I mean, I've seen Abi win and lose like that multiple times, you know.
Yeah.
But usually it's pretty cut and dry. But and I would think that Kotonowaka versus Ura, I thought that should have been pretty cut and dry as well, because, I mean, that was Ura's victory. But the way that they're kind of like enforcing some of these rules, these new Shinpan, it's just like, oh, you know, so we got different kind of, you know, different strategies here, you know, different fucking approach.
It
you know,
does
to these
seem
rules.
to be different rules depending on who's judging it.
Yeah, because we were used to Isegahama for however long, you know, and then and especially since we first started watching sumo, it was Isegahama and, you know, his ilk.
But remembering back to when it was those judges, I do recall several times saying to myself, you know, that should have been different.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they made the right call there. So, regardless of who the judges are,
it's interesting to see how these different factions within the JSA are taking different approaches, you know, to the tournaments.
right?
Definitely. I think we got to incorporate what the NFL has. They get the little cameras that they go look at.
Yeah.
someone from the higher up level goes, call it this way.
That's kind of what they do though. Like there's a camera room. What's that at the Kokugikan, and the Shimpan are all wearing like little like earpieces.
Yeah.
So the Gyoji doesn't have the earpiece. The Gyoji's the Gyoji, but that's sometimes the Shimpan will call out because someone from the camera will be like, "No, dude, there was some bullshit going on," you know. So call
But
this.
they don't have to listen to that.
Yeah, they don't
You know,
have to.
ultimately, it's up to the Shimpans.
Yeah, but
That's why they're in the position they're in. If they just let let the people in the fucking video booth decide each match, then there's no reason to have chimpons, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But
So those were
it's
like
frustrating.
those were the honorable mention bouts for the ones that we found
And
most
the
interesting.
dishonorable
And
mentions.
dishonorable. The ones that were honorable mentions for being the most interesting, I guess.
Mhm.
So we do have each of the Rikishi that we have followed, we kind of detailed. So instead of doing day by day, we did it by Rikishi, and we just kind of follow their journey, and see what kind of bouts that they had.
Right. Because there are some Rikishi who it seems like all the fans are really following for this Basho. Of course, one of them being Asanoyama, because he has clawed his way back up after enduring his punishment for breaking COVID protocols. He's now back in Makauchi. He's, what was he, Maegashira 14 for this Basho?
Yeah, he spent a year suspended and then spent another year climbing back to Makauchi.
Mm-hmm.
He got where he ultimately was where, like in it was like super low, right?
Yeah, he went down. Was he in Jonidan or Sandanme?
Somewhere super
Yeah,
low
he
like
was
that,
down there with some of the 18-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And just wiped the floor with everyone when he was
yeah.
down there.
Yeah, but he ended this tournament at 12 wins, 3 losses, only losing to Hokuseiho, Hoshoryu, and Terunofuji.
Wait, did he lose to Hokuseiho?
Yeah.
The Terunofuji was on a roll this tournament.
Yeah.
Obviously. From my perspective, watching him on day one, he walked onto the dojo, or before he even stepped foot on it, that man was already won. He already won. It was just, he was
Like, oh, the Yokozuna's here.
Yeah.
he was swinging the big dick energy that you would expect. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh my God. My mom gets everything wrong, so she hears something and she tries to repeat it. The jet fuel doesn't get hot enough to melt steel beams. Her brain had changed it into a blowtorch can't get hot enough to melt steel balls. So it goes through her brain and it just gets distorted somehow. And, oh God, I forgot where I was going with this.
Big dick energy?
Yeah, it was, instead of big dick energy, it was fat cock spirit or something.
So, like I said, he's slowly climbing his way back up the ranks, but there's a lot of tough dudes in the Sanyaku currently, so it's tough to determine how long it will take him to reach Ozeki again, if at all. I personally think he probably could do it again. Nevertheless, I fully expect to see him in the Joy this coming July, so that should make things a lot more interesting.
I think they're going to give him a big jump up.
You think so?
I think they will.
Yeah, he's still going to be a Maegashira. I think, okay, if he's Maegashira 14 right now,
I could see him highest Maegashira 4, maybe?
I
Or
hate
10-point
predicting
jump?
stuff because I'm always wrong, but I predict Maegashira 5. That's my prediction.
Okay.
I'm going to say Maegashira 4 because I want to see if they give him that big of a jump.
Okay, so you're playing by Price is Right rules.
So the next Rikishi we're going to take a look at is going to be Meisei,
Another breakout performance this Basho, Meisei.
who actually got the Outstanding Performance Prize.
Yeah.
Day 9, Meisei slayed the day away as he went up against Terunofuji, delivering the Yokozuna his first loss of the tournament and gaining his Kachikoshi.
Yes.
So Meisei, he went all out on that one. You could tell he just, he was just launched himself, just mind, body, and spirit into that. He's like, no, fuck this, I'm doing this. Seriously, I could kind of... Holy shit, that's exactly what I was about to say. I could just kind of hear that when he gets down in his Tachi position. Leroy Jenkins.
Speaking of ancient memes.
Oh, I know, right? All right.
Classic.
All right, day 10. However, the Yokozuna Slayer went up against the towering inferno known as Hokuseiho, who was quickly becoming a fan favorite.
Oh, yeah.
At the Tachi, Meisei barreled into the mighty oak, who stepped slightly to the side but still caught his opponent, causing them both to spin from the centrifugal force. He gets the giant up against the Tawara, but Hokuseiho is able to brace himself and force Meisei back. Meisei fought that Uwatanage all the way down, but the victory ultimately belonged to the endearing Hokuseiho.
Yes. No, he really did fight that the entire way down. Like, Hokuseiho was like, get fucking down there, you fucking squirrely asshole. It was beautiful.
It was all over from there as Asanayama executed an awesome Tsukiyotoshi reversal on day 11, knocking Meisei out of the front running. So that was... It was sad, but he did damn good. It was awesome to see Meisei just, for the Yusho race just the whole fucking time. I was rooting for him.
Yeah, despite that setback and only ending the Basho with 8 wins, so, just barely getting his Kachikoshi, Meisei still did earn that Shukunsho Outstanding Performance Prize.
So fuck yeah. Congratulations, Meisei.
Hell yeah.
Big wins.
And he's the Rikishi that all the old ladies on the train, because he rides into town, to go run his errands, and all the old ladies on the train just love Meisei.
Well, that was my favorite part of watching Sumo Live, was sitting out there watching the Rikishi leave and all the fangirls coming up to them, giving them gifts. I was like, holy shit, these guys have got the life.
Kind of made you want to work harder on your sumo.
For real. I was like, damn. I'm gonna laser these tattoos off now.
Oh yeah, because they won't let the pro Rikishi have tattoos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Moving on to Kiribayama,
Sabrina's boyfriend.
Fan favorite and quite possibly the sexiest Rikishi currently in Pro Sumo. His day 10 bout with Wakamoto Haru looked more like a gymnastics performance as Kiribayama's Kotenage sent him tumbling head over heels. His neck didn't look like it was in the right position when he landed though, so I really kind of hope Wakamoto Haru's okay. I don't know, he did pretty good for the last 5 days of the tournament.
Yeah, I think he's all right.
It's just if I would have landed like that, I would be paralyzed right now. You would be spoon feeding me.
And as somebody whose neck is currently in pain right now, I could feel that.
Sometimes all it takes is just a good toss on the head. You know what I'm saying?
Good hard smack in the face by a muscle lady.
Yes, exactly that. Rewired my whole brain.
As many had been hoping, Day 12 saw Kiribayama finally achieve his 33rd win out of 3 tournaments, which historically has been the requirement for promotion to ozeki. Ironically, this win was against the Kadoban ozeki Takakeisho, denying him his 8th win, which was necessary to keep his ozeki rank. Takakeisho did end up getting his 8th win, Kachikoshi, to keep his rank the following day when he went up against Meisei. But, we kind of saw this coming. We knew Kiribayama was going to eventually, very soon, actually, become the next ozeki, I think.
Mm-hmm. Very, very well deserving, I think. He worked hard for it, and the way that his sumo has blossomed. I remember when we first started watching, Kiribayama kind of had that Hoshoryu style, just very throw-heavy, very bulk-oriented. But to see him incorporate more oshi, more pushing, more thrusting, he's become a more well-rounded Rikishi, and you could just see you see those silly memes with people when they're thinking really hard, you could see the formulas, and all of that. Yeah, you could see him doing that as he's fighting. It's a sight to see. I love watching Kiribayama do what he's good at.
Fuck
the brainwaves.
I love watching Kiribayama do anything, honestly.
I remember when you saw the Sumo Primetime when it showed, he was telling, he goes, "I'm Kiribayama, and I'm your man."
He can seriously just be sitting there in a bathrobe, eating chips, covered in crumbs, watching fucking soap operas, unshaven,
Oh, she loves his beard. Kiribayama's beard.
And I'll just be like, yeah, you go, Kiribayama.
She calls him Kiribayami.
I'm not the only one. Okay.
Bro, it's literally me. That sounds like Life right there. Just unlimited amounts of unspoken riz.
So the next day, he did go up against the yokozuna, putting up quite a fight, making Terunofuji really work for it. Even when Teru got him up against the Tawara, he was clinging to him like a hungry leech. Terunofuji ended up having to peel him off by shoving him out of the ring by his face. This gave Teru his 2-win lead, securing his Yusho win by day 14.
So yeah, they already declared him the winner of the Emperor's Cup on day 14.
Mm-hmm.
With that victory though, man, I've had to do that with Bubba. Like fighting Bubba, he just won't go over that goddamn Tawara. You just gotta grab him by the face. Just,
get the fuck down.
No, him and Rick ended up those guys are getting good.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
both of them are solid, Rikishi.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Just even back at Consulate's Cup when I had to go against, I think it was Rick that I went against. And that man is rock solid.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But Kiribayama ended the Basho with 11 wins and 4 losses, and secured himself a Ginosho Technique Prize as well. I do have in my notes here, back to Wakamoto Haru. He ended with 10 wins and also received a Ginosho Technique Prize for his performance during the tournament, so I guess he wasn't really that shook by landing on his head like that.
But so 2 Ginosho Prize winners and 1 outstanding performance, the Shukun Show. And so what was the other one?
No Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, no Fighting Spirit prize.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, I did see a lot of Fighting Spirit, but I think they could have given that to Meisei, but I think outstanding performance was a little bit more,
in line.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Ben, any overall thoughts on the Natsu Basho?
I think it was a very electric tournament.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There was a lot of storylines going into it, obviously. In the top division and then even in Juryo. With Tochinoshin, Ichino, all of these guys. I remember reading, I think I had just landed in Japan when I had seen that Ichinojo had retired. And I was like, damn, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And then, with Tochinoshin, I was like, okay, let's see him get some wins. Didn't happen.
Oh, I know.
Inho, I'm like, let's go get some wins. Inho, didn't happen. And they were very beat up. But then when you get to the top division, seeing Terunofuji come back, it was very incredible. It was.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He carried himself in such a way to where I was already like, he's about to just prove every naysayer wrong. He was there. He was clocked in for business. It was.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It was like
business time.
Yeah.
It was like Jordan.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, definitely like Jordan. He just came in there, take care of business, do his fucking thing, and he fucking did it. And, like, I think, like, Terunofuji fucking... all the naysayers were like, oh, man, he's gonna suck so bad when he comes back. And I think the whole time...
he's just too injured or whatever.
Yeah. So he worked on his upper body, and you can tell.
Yeah.
Like, he completely strengthened his... He got those Pizza Hut lats, man.
Yes!
He got the Dorito build.
His shoulders look like the roof of a Pizza Hut. They do.
Those lats are like, juice, juice, and then when it goes to his shoulders...
He's got shoulder titties.
He does have shoulder titties. He really does. But no, just the way that he sat out, having to have this surgery and, everyone, and I love that everyone was like, no, it's okay. Go ahead. Have your surgery. Sumo's going to be here waiting for you when you come back. And then he came back and then fucking performed. He fucking performed, and all the naysayers that want to talk shit about Terunofuji, boom, in your face. In your face.
Fuck yeah.
It was the most genuine, like, this is what good rest will do for our wrestlers. Like,
exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
And obviously, day one, you saw him squat down, and I was like, oh, he's not getting as low as he can get. Like, you could tell. But it didn't matter. He just imposed his will on everyone.
Yeah.
It was some just incredible sumo. I was like, his match, even though it was like 10 seconds on day one, it felt like 10 minutes. It was incredible. I think he's going to still be around for a while. I think despite this knee setback, he's going to have a very good stay. He's going to fucking kick ass for another couple of years.
I think so.
He's got a few more Emperor's Cups he's got to collect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he does. He definitely does.
But this definitely feels like a transitional period in sumo, though, like a time for change. We have these guys, these long-term staples had been retiring. I think we're probably going to see, just over the last 2 years, a lot of the dudes that we had seen, like Koto Shogeku's gone, Kaisei's gone, fucking, Tochi, Goedo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so all these dudes, that it's always been a bit different, and there are always guys coming and going, but it just seems like a lot of that old guard from the last 10 years are just, they're moving on, they're either, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna say the guys that I followed that were around for, when I first started watching 7-8 years ago. A lot of them are gone now, and it's like, who are you people?
I know. But that's
damn kids, get off my dojo.
That's why I like watching the lower divisions, is because you could kind of start seeing, because the cream rises to the top. And so to see some of those, those creamy boys down in
I don't know about that terminology.
Hold on, let him cook.
But you see those creamy boys rising to the top.
Oh, no.
I mean, look at Shishi, he's one of those creamy boys rising up to the Sekitori levels. Fucking Atami Fuji, Ochiai, those creamy boys rising up to the top.
All right, we're starting a new stable and we're calling it Ram Ranch.
Was it Texas Shushin? Ramaranchu Bea.
18 naked Rikishi.
God damn. Okay, I think
song is so goated.
I know. We introduced it to our roommate the other day. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
She had never heard it.
Never heard it before.
Or Ram Ranch 7. Where
the Marines
coming to fuck Prince Harry's butt.
It was like 16 U.S. Marines and black helicopters. The Ram Ranch is under siege.
They're locked down, bro.
No, Ram Ranch. That's the cut. That's the fucking jam. Fucking Ram Ranch. Well, okay, the new house we're moving into, Sabrina wants to call it Ram Ranch.
Yeah, that's the name.
Definitely.
Like this apartment we call the Crypt. That's going to be Ram Ranch for sure.
We're going to live at Ram Ranch.
Very solid.
All right, guys. Any predictions for Nagoya in July?
Okay, Shishi and Juryo.
Shishi and Juryo.
All right. And then I predict Gonoyama and Ochiai for sure going into Makuuchi.
Really? Ochiai? What is he at right now again?
Juryo 8 West.
Juryo 8? I don't think Ochiai is going to be bumped all the way up to Makuuchi. You really think so?
I think he will.
Maybe Juryo 1.
All right, maybe Juryo 1, but I think they're going to slap him up in Makuuchi. I think Atami Fuji is going to go to Juryo 1, and Gonoyama and Ochiai will be in Makuuchi.
It'd be funny if Atami Fuji and Ochiai ended up at the same rank again for the next
I know. But
Gonoyama for sure.
Gonoyama, he was one that I didn't really keep an eye on, I was just like, Gonoyama, whatever, but he's just this last tournament.
Last show he did pretty well.
I think that he's ready. I think that he's, gearing himself up, but he might be the guy that, same thing happened to Atami Fuji where he gets to Makuuchi, kind of like, oh shit, this is a different game, and goes back down to Juryo to kind of regroup before going back. So it could happen, And
any predictions, hopes, dreams?
Obviously, I'm hoping to see Onosato just absolutely tear it up in Nagoya. 7-0, just make it look easy. I'm hoping that Inho does not compete at the next tournament. I'm hoping he's going to take it out. I would rather him lose more rank than him risk probably, getting forced into early retirement.
Yeah.
definitely.
If he has to go back to Makushita for a while, he could see some of our other friends like Akiseyama and Chiyonoo and Tokshoryu, some of our guys that we've seen that are just, hanging out down there.
Other people who used to be up in Makuuchi.
Terutsuyoshi. I think if Inho spends a little bit of time with those guys, slays a few giants, throws Yago's ass out of the fucking dohyo a couple times.
Yeah.
Then he'll come back to Juryo, and if he feels ready, maybe he might do another dip in Makuuchi.
Yeah, I often kind of wonder if we could see a better performance out of Inho if he just had some time to rest. But that's true for pretty much all the Rikishi.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anyone's ever actually 100% coming into any tournament.
No.
Terunofuji, only one that I could say was probably 100%. But even then, the wear and tear got quick on him during this one. So it's just, I would rather see my guys be 100% and fully healthy and then compete. Because here's the thing. I know Inho has got the grit and, just what it takes to be back in Juryo very quickly. So I don't think him D-ranking is going to be an issue for him. I think it'll be fine. I just want him to be healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, I really would like that for all of those guys. I really wish that they wouldn't sink them so hard for injury or even sink them at all. Whenever COVID happened, they had those rules for COVID, but...
I kind of understand why it is the way it is, though, because it is kind of not fair to everyone else, trying to climb the ranks, but... I think it would probably help even better if there were only 4 tournaments a year instead of 8.
Yeah.
I think that would be a better solution, honestly.
And then we would get more, more out of our boys, They would be able to...
I would be willing to wait longer to watch sumo if it meant the wrestlers were healthier.
Exactly.
I agree. Yeah. I 100% agree. For the longevity of everyone and for the longevity of the sport, I know it's been going on forever, but I think it would be better if we went back to the 4 tournaments and then we gave them more time to rest. I just one a season. That's perfect. That's it
spring,
makes
summer,
sense.
fall, winter. There you go.
And then there's also Jungyo time, whenever they go on their tours. And maybe if they had longer Jungyo time, maybe they could tour the US. Maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's some cool things that could come out of that. It's just a fun thought exercise.
Yeah.
Waiting for what the NFL does, where they bring games to other countries. I'm waiting for the JSA to announce we got sumo coming to America.
I know, man. I would seriously fly out if it only came to LA. I would fly my ass out to LA.
Well, they did that one in England in the 90s.
Yeah.
So
and you know who has good clay? North Texas.
Oh, that's true.
Oklahoma has really good clay too. I mean, they could just truck it down to North Texas from Oklahoma.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, it's we got some great venues here.
Yeah. Why don't you come down to the what's that shit? If they go to the American Airlines, convention center or whatever, I'd go see sumo there.
Oh
yeah, dude. Oh my god, totally.
And the best part is the JSA could jack up those prices to something crazy and the people would eat it up.
Oh yeah, especially us. I'd be like, oh my god, my savings account is gone, but holy shit, I get to meet Terunofuji.
It's like, oh, hold up, I just got a text from someone at the JSA saying quit leaking things. Oops.
All right. Any other predictions, guys? Any other hopes or dreams for...
Hokuseiho. I hope Hokuseiho doesn't rely so much on his height and that kind of it just kind of feels like he's holding a kid he's giving someone a wedgie, but just holding them there and letting them just tire themselves out before he just kind of yeets them off the edge.
Yeah, I think
but Hoshoryu figured him out.
Kind of getting a feel for Hokuseiho. The next tournament, this is going to be my prediction. He's probably not going to do as well as he did this tournament.
I have the opposite. I think Hakuho is going to get on his ass and be like, "The fuck are you doing? You just, you can't just be a tree. The fuck you think you are, Groot?" And then, reams his ass and is like, no, you got to do better against these shrimpy dudes, these little dudes. You got to fucking learn how to, toss these bowling balls around.
You got all these legs, fucking kick them.
Can't kick him. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, you kind of can, but yeah.
We have a new Hakuho, right? That's
Hakuoho.
Hakuoho. Yes, that's.
Oh, he's Hakuoho. So that's
Hokuho?
no, it's Hakuoho. That's Ochiai's new Shikona.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be like Shodai or like Indo or Uda and just kind of get to wrestle under his own name. But the fact that he's Hakuoho,
Hakuoho. Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's what Hakuho wanted to name him, so that's what they're going with. So. Hakuoho.
So yeah, copy your homework. Sure, just change it so no one realizes.
Yeah, so Hakuho to Hakuoho. I saw this. It was a picture of Terunofuji. I think it was right after he had won his last bout. What was that against Takakesho? Like day 15 bout?
Yeah, day 15.
Yeah, so as he's walking through, you could see Ochiai wearing a haori, the formal wear, and he's like just standing there in awe of Terunofuji. Like Terunofuji's walking through and he's all sweaty. He's like, oh yeah. And Ochiai's just like, he just looks, he's just like, holy shit. Oh man. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so on for Ochiai to get to Makuuchi, because I know once he's up there, he's going to be able to climb to the joy like really quickly. And I really want to see how he does against Terunofuji. I mean, I know it's probably not going to be like
phenomenal at first.
Yeah, but I just want to see how he handles fighting a yokozuna for the first time. That's got to be an exhilarating feeling, and I just want to see that look on his face,
Fuck yeah.
I believe in the philosophy you got to get your shit rocked at least once or twice before you can be successful.
Exactly.
True.
It's very true.
You have to fail a few times before you learn how to win. That is absolutely true.
I like how Justin Kizert put it. He was like, it's like, you're going to suck for like, your first few tournaments. He's like, so just, go to every tournament you can for a couple of years, get your losses out of the way and start getting good at sumo. And I was like, that is sound advice.
That is good. Get your losses out of the way and then you'll be doing good sumo.
That's how it happened for me. My first Cowboy Cup, I think I only won one bout. And I didn't win anything at my first Consulates Cup. And it wasn't until Houston that I started getting like, a good feel. And by the time I did my bout at my turn at the Mets, the Met is where I really felt like that I kind of leveled up. And then Roller Town, shit, I think
you did pretty good. You tied with Rick for like third, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or
not third, it was fifth. Fourth. Was it fourth? Fourth or fifth? No, because I think Caleb got fourth, and then me and Rick tied for fifth.
Okay, 3s and 5s are very similar in my brain for some reason, so
they look close enough.
Yeah. So yeah,
you guys tied for 5th, which wasn't bad because there were
40.
There were a fuck ton of people there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm choking on nothing.
What the fuck? At least 40. I was really, really hoping I'd be good for that one. Just not. I need a few more months to let it cook. I think Consulates Cup will be my official return.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully no ACL blowing up this time.
That sucked. It was just like, oh yeah, this knee's good. This knee's great. Hell yeah. I get to the Consulates Cup. Bam. Other knee. Fucking angry.
I know. Oh, sucks.
That was so sad. I remember watching that happen too.
I'm shooting for a medal this time. I'm
Fuck
shooting for a medal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be a good time all around. It's probably gonna be the first time I get to bust out my yukata in tournament
nice.
Wait a minute. Have you guys ever gotten to fight against each other?
Yeah, practice.
Yeah, only in practice.
Yeah, we haven't got
at a tournament.
No, not at a tournament yet. Yeah.
Justin needs to rig the brackets. So we wind up going against each other.
Do it, Justin.
Yeah. I can't wait to see that. Well, I think that's all we have to talk about for this episode.
Yeah.
Ben, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a fucking blast. Where do you want people to find you online if they were to look for you?
So you can find me online on every major social media platform, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook is Benjamin Marquez. Instagram is Ben_Marquez73. And then my Twitter, which is for little haha silly shit posting, is Ben Marquez _77.
Thanks again for hanging out with us, telling us about your adventures in Japan, and taking apart this basho with us so we could analyze its guts. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. It's been a blast. It was an honor to be on the show.
Did you want to also do a shout out for your club?
Absolutely. I can't forget my club. Shout out to Dark Circle Sumo out of Austin, Texas.
Fuck yeah.
Justin Kizart is my senpai and my aniki, just like Corey is out of Dallas.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you again in person at the Consulates Cup coming up in September. You know where to find us. We're on all the social medias. Sumo Punx, spell it with an X. If you like what we do, go ahead and slap a rating on this shit. And we'll see y'all next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.